What if I told you that you were no longer able to live in your own home? You couldn't live in your own city, or even your own state for that matter. This may sound pretty far-fetched, but this is the case for many people today. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Martin, and I want to talk to you today about climate change. Climate change is due to the carbon emission levels in our atmosphere today. They have taken a steady rise due to burning of fossil fuels, agricultural practices, and chemical pollution. And chemical or carbon dioxide levels are positively correlated with the rising temperatures, according to a study. How does this affect us? We're affected as it affects our drinking water, it affects our health even, and it affects the ground that we live on. How are we supposed to go about fixing this with the government that has put us through already? All the countries in the world, except for one, have signed the Paris Climate Agreement, which is a statement saying that all countries are going to put forth as much effort as they can to reduce their carbon emissions. The United States was on this list, but sadly, President Trump has taken us off of it, as this is not a concern for him. This is a problem to us because we still have to live in America, where carbon emissions are still a problem. This is going to cause health problems for even our later generations too if we do not stop this. How can we fix this problem? First, a tax policy has been wrote up that puts a tax on all things that emit carbon. Cars, airplanes, all such would have a tax on them that you would have to pay. Now, people do not like spending more money than they have to. So, people are going to generally use less things that emit carbon. This idea is great, but it first has to involve the government seeing that climate change is an issue. A way that we could take it into our own hands is to recycle. Many places offer, or many towns offer recycling for people at low cost or free. Items that can be recycled are glass, cardboard, paper, plastic, and metal. Some places will even offer you money if you recycle your metal, which is great because you get money in your pocket as well. Although plastic is recyclable, not all places take every kind. Their plastic is made out of many different components, and so you have to check with every recycling place to see which ones will take. And what doesn't get taken sadly ends up in the landfill. And plastic does not biodegrade, so sadly it just sits there. A great way to implement this recycling system is like the city of Stillwater, Oklahoma does, where they give you a bin and you put all your recyclables in this bin and it's collected just as your trash is collected by the waste management. This is perfect because many people don't want to have to deal with the hassle of dropping off their recyclables. Another way, a small step, is reducing carbon emissions by doing small things like carpooling, making sure that all the lights are turned out when you leave a room, unplugging devices that don't need to be plugged in all the time, and reusing things. Now, what would happen if we don't do any of these things? Well, we're already on a temperature rise, and even a single degree Celsius will have an effect on Earth. But if we don't do anything, a 4-degree Celsius raise is supposed to be truly detrimental to Earth. Some say it's even no longer inhabitable at that point, as there are droughts on the mainlands, flooding in the outer lands, and simply not enough food left, as you cannot plant where there's been droughts. Now, if it involves my life, I would take it very seriously, but you may think of it also affecting your parents' lives, your kids' lives, your grandchildren's lives, or heck, even your pets' lives. If that doesn't mean enough to you, then I'm sorry that you do not value the earth as much as I do. I am thankful for living where I do, and I would like to keep it the same as much as possible. So please, think of this. The Industrial Revolution led us to technological advances. After World War II, we had a huge population growth. And while these are both huge blessings, we have to stop and think, when is enough enough? When do we need to start thinking about having too much and not enough? Thank you.